Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I am Roger Wakefield, coming to you by myself today. As you see, Squirt is not here. Squirt is actually out in the field taking care of Leak Pro. He's got training going on today, so he won't be here today or tomorrow, so I'll get to do this by myself. But this is neat. We go live here each and every day at 10 a.m. Central Time, and we do this because, well, that's lunchtime on the East Coast. So no matter where you are in the country, you can listen to this at lunch. Prop it up, listen to it, stick some headphones in, turn it up where everybody at the picnic table can hear it. If you're out on the job site, if you're headed to lunch, carry us with you. We'd love to be part of your day. And guys, we do this because we truthfully think that if you will get up every day and for 30 minutes to an hour study your business, your niche, your profession, it will help you move up into the top 5% after a year. And it's not that you know a little bit about everything. So there's a lot out there that you know a little bit about, and there's not as much out there you don't know anything about. So if this is something that you enjoy, please give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let us know that you like it. But also share it with anybody you know that might enjoy it. Now, I'm also on TikTok, Instagram. I'm on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So if you know somebody that would like to hear this, share this with them. And if you've got questions or comments, please jump in over on YouTube. That way I can see them, I can bring them up on the screen, and we'll talk about it. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new, man, welcome. Nice to have you here. I've been a plumber for over 45 years. I got my license in 1980. And man, this is a lot of fun. But we do this because I started doing YouTube 7 years ago. And I learned how to grow, scale and build really, and then sell a business. And I did it due to the power of YouTube. What we did on social media helped us grow and helped us do great things. I got to the point where I had to decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to do social media, or am I going to do plumbing? And we decided to sell the plumbing company. Not a bad thing. But if you want to learn how to do YouTube, I made a free webinar, and I do it to help teach people that want to learn to grow their business, but they're tired of getting ripped off by marketing companies. That's where I was at. So if this is something that you would like to do, go to justmattroger.com and check it out. Our other sponsor is Leak Pro. And if you are not doing leak detection equipment, if you're not doing leak detection services for your company or for you as a person, it's something you may want to think about, because leak detection is growing in popularity. And the big thing is, all the big companies that are doing it are so far behind, they normally can't get to other customers in 4 to 6 weeks. Now, they prioritize their customers, meaning they've also got a plumbing company, and they're prioritizing them, but they're not prioritizing you, the plumber. So learn to do it yourself. If you want to learn more about it, go to leak.pro. Check out the complete kit. It is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And I've looked at a lot of them. So we acquired Leak Pro, and then we built the Leak Pro slab. It's a slab with 11 leaks under it, one outside of it. And we bring you in, we put you through training. And guys, these are not easy leaks to find. They're deep. There's a thick slab, about 6 inches deep. And I got to tell you, they're not very easy to find. But by the end of the second day, you can find them. You know how to find them. You know how to locate the lines. You know exactly what to do. So if that is something you're interested in, give Squirt a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I definitely think you'll enjoy it. All right, we're going to jump into the national news. And this is a pretty touchy subject to a lot of people. But this is the immigration raid fallout. Now, why is that a big deal for construction workers? Well, it is slowing down construction sites. There's a growing issue in the field that, well, it's not getting a lot of attention. Immigration enforcement is hitting the trades very hard. A recent story out of Mobile, Alabama showed how one ICE raid stalled a $13 million construction project. It was on time and it was on budget until half the workforce disappeared overnight. The contractor took on an $84,000 hit in penalties for not being done on time. Now, subs could not get paid, and the ripple effect mean that electricians and masons on the next job were delayed too. And that's not just in Alabama, Ohio, Georgia. All these places are seeing the same fallout. For anyone relying on subcontracted labor, it's time to audit your hiring and your compliance process. Because when workers vanish, it's not just a staffing issue. It becomes a financial issue. Now, in restaurants, which I used to be in the restaurant business, you literally had to document every single employer that worked for you. You had to document them. You had to make sure that all their paperwork was good. It was all up to date. It was all current. And you had to do all this when you hired them. Make sure they have a birth certificate. Make sure they have a social security card. Make sure they have legal ID. Anything at all like that. And if you're not, well, if your job gets hit by ice, you may end up losing half your crew. Now, this is something, even when I had a plumbing company, we had to document every single employee. So guys, this is something that it may be smart to think about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because if you're not, you're going to run into problems. ICE is going to make sure of it. All right. I am going to try and pull up this website over here. All right. And this is called, if I can find it, Supply Chain Drive. And maybe I can't. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump right into it and tell you why Squirt picked this one. The website review is Supply Chain Drive. And if you're not already following it, well, let me try it this way. Oh, I see why right there. There we go. Get down to it. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to share this screen with you. First of all, how's everybody doing today? Happy freaking Monday. Welcome back. Good to see y'all here. Okay, so this is Supply Chain Drive. And you can deep dive on stuff. Talk about risk, technology, operations, procurement, logistics, freight, regulations. This is a lot of stuff we talk about all the time. Trump's tariffs, tackling the status of international trade actions. And man, I was talking to somebody the other day that literally, they have a company here in the United States. They were outsourcing everything from China. The tariffs kicked in. They're like, you know what? We do it all here now. I'm like, man, that's great. Why didn't y'all do it beforehand? Well, they didn't want to talk about that. It is what it is. So anyway, if you're not already following it, check it out because you're missing out. It's one of the few free sources breaking down how global issues affect our day-to-day on the job site. Right now, they're tracking a 6% year-over-year increase in construction material costs. And to be honest, I'd have figured that number more around 15 or 20%. Serious. And this is everything from rebar to fasteners to PVC. Tariffs, steel demands, and port delays are all factors. Their Material Watch dashboard gives real-world pricing updates that field leaders and estimators can actually use. It's clean, it's quick, and best of all, no paywall. Keep resources, or these are great resources to keep your biz sharp and your budgets realistic. So I'm going to jump in here and just play around for a minute because I like this. FedEx Network 2.0 tracking closures, layoffs across the United States. 3 ways AI's optimizing procurement. And there's a lot going on in here. U.S. to levy another 25% tariff on India imports. UPS matches FedEx with dimensional weight change. Man. Wow. Trump threatens 250% tariffs on pharma imports. Man, there's a lot going on here. I like this. Let's look at the deep dive, see what it's got. Nintendo launches to Switch 2 in a tariff storm. Yeah, now the difficult part's going to be the price. C-store executives aren't too concerned about tariffs. Experts think that they should be. How lower China tariffs will affect direct-to-consumer imports. Canada post-strike threat. How shippers can limit disruptions. Guys, there's a lot going on, and this is a great place to jump in and get information that can actually, feed you and help you grow, help you understand where we're at, what's happening, different things like that. Library. So you've got actual resources here that you can use. Man, this is good. I've looked at this site before and I remember it. Events. So I'm assuming they also host events or they talk about them. There, that's easier to see, isn't it? Holiday shipping season, holiday shopping season. Sorry about that. Top strategies to secure your freight and prevent cargo theft. Reaching future-ready retail and GPC supply chain. Driving up agility and resilience with AI. Best practices for implementing access management and manufacturing overtime environments. Man, I tell you what, I like this. A lot of good stuff. Anyway, guys, look, if you're looking for someplace out there that you can get news and you're involved with the pricing, with the numbers at your company, this could be a great website. Now, I do like this for Square to be happy. Port of Oakland gets an electric vehicle charging depot. And it says ocean cargo volumes are to rebound by July. We're beyond that now. So good stuff. Like I said, Randy pulls up a lot of different sites. The ones that he pulls up, the ones that he likes best, are the one that, remember, he used to be an estimator for one of the largest mechanical contractors in town. And he knows that by getting in here and looking at stuff that he would look at back then, it's going to help all y'all. So it's great. The Good Ex Plumber says, good morning, Roger. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, sir. And Squirt says, happy Monday from the Leak Pro Slab. Keep ahead of knowing the supply restraints. Boy, isn't that the truth? And if you know that they're there, you know that they're coming, it makes it a lot easier. Squirt says, Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing, what's up, brother? Squirt, have fun training today. How did you like our solar budget being voted out? Yeah, that's not good. It'll be neat to see what they bring in to help change that. But I looked through that. That was really, really good. So, neat stuff out there. Matt McDonough, thank you for everything you do. And this guy is always sending great information. And a lot of times that stuff ends up in here being talked about. So now we're going to roll into business growth. And this is something that, well, we were just talking about with Matt. Cross-training for solar plus EV charger installs. And guys, if you want to grow your business without having to hire, train the people that you already have. More companies are cross-training their crews to install solar gear and the EV chargers. And guys, me and Squirt have been talking about the EV chargers for years because we had a guy drive down to Utah in his Tesla. And when he got to the house, there was a charging station, but he didn't have the cord, but somebody else did. So it worked out great. But electricians are learning how to connect combiner boxes and EV panels. Now, HVAC techs are starting to step into solar, also tying in the heat pump installs. One small Texas contractor added EV charger installs to their service. They started offering this to all their customers, saw a 22% revenue bump in 3 months. Guys, can you imagine what another 22% a year would do? If you're a $100,000 a year company, now you're like a 1.25 almost. And what if you can do that again next year? You just keep growing at a quarter per year at 25% a year, you're going to do amazing. And you don't need to reinvent your workforce. Just teach them new things. Teach them upskills. Train them in new things that are coming. You know solar is not going away. You know the wind turbines aren't going away. You know the electronic vehicles aren't going away. Do everything you can to train your guys to learn about it. Partner with a solar rep. Bring in a product demo and start small. You don't have to start saying, okay, we're going to do off the grid house. From the very beginning, we're going to put up solar panels. We're going to put up an inverter. We're going to put up an EV charger, and we're going to do all this, from the very beginning. Start small, learn the system. The jobs are already out there. You just have to figure out how you can become the one who gets it. And I love that we talk about this all the time because I was looking for a electronic vehicle. I was looking at Tesla probably 8 years ago. And maybe not, maybe it's 6 or 7 years ago. But literally I rode in a Tesla Sport in Anaheim. And it blew my mind as to how fast it was. And it was really neat because I wasn't driving, but the plumber that I was with was. And literally, we're at a red light, and he's taking us back to the hotel because we had traveled around, saw his office, has done some cool stuff. And literally, he gets in and he says, "Okay, so do you want to do you want to see what it feels like to actually go fast?" And it's like, well, absolutely. Man, I've always had trucks that had bigger engines, all kinds of stuff like that. And when he punched it, literally, I was in the back seat, and it's like the back seat swallowed me. I just sunk back in it. It's like, oh my gosh, this is fast. And think about it. It's like a motor. When you turn it on, it comes on. Period. And it comes on fully running. That's what this is. It's a vehicle that had, I think, 4 motors, 1 on each wheel. And man, that thing purred like a kitten. It was sweet. All right. Service work. Now, a 30-second explanation and follow-up templates. Now, these are great services, and great service starts with clear communication. Train your team to explain what's wrong and what needs to be done, and then how much it'll cost. And you want to do that all in 30 seconds or less. And it's not really hard. You've just got to learn to communicate. You've got to learn to be very clear in your communications. So it sounds really simple, and it does take practice. Here's what we found. Here's what caused it, and here's how we'll fix it. That's all there is to it. It's very simple. What we found is that your water heater, the heating elements are out. Okay, that's what's wrong. Now, what we found is that your water heater is 8 years old, and this water heater really only has a 6-year warranty. So instead of investing in your water heater today and spending money on that, it may be a smart idea to just go ahead and invest in a new water heater. And there's formulas for that, and you teach those formulas. But that's all it is. Here's what we found. Here's what the problem is. Here's how we fix it. Give them a good, better, and best option. But that's what you have to tell them, and that's it. Then after the job is over, make sure you send a follow-up text or a follow-up email. And if you're not doing anything with that, make sure that you go to rogersmarketingmachine.com. I've got a company out there that will put together your entire CRM for you for $500. Then it's just $97 a month. And it's amazing. But that follow-up text, that follow-up email, thanks for having us out. We repaired the water heater instead of replacing it today. Please keep an eye on it because we know that water heater is 8 years old. I've also included an estimate to replace it, just so you know. Let us know if anything changes. That kind of follow-up, that kind of follow-through builds trust. And it brings repeat business. And a good thing about a follow-through like that is, say you looked at the date and you say, okay, it was manufactured August 28th. If it was manufactured August 28th, now you put it in your calendar to send them a notification on August 28th. Say, now that water heater is 9 years old. Just checking to see if you've thought about it yet. I can still do it for the same price, or our price has changed in the last 6 months because of increase in prices. So there is an estimate for a new water heater at the new price. And guys, if you'll do stuff like that, if you'll follow up with people, they will be so grateful. They will literally be like, oh my God, thank you for reaching back out. We completely forgot about it. I know you told us it's above our living room, and you would think that we remember that, but yes, we know it's time to replace it, and we'd like to go ahead and get that done. And then you reply back and say, do you want to use your money or ours? Imagine that. You get a message asking if you'd rather use their money or yours. Well, most customers are going to be like, well, what do you mean use your money? Well, the cool thing about that is we have financing set up. And if you're approved, you can use our money. We get paid immediately. We're not financing it. We've got a company, a third-party company that does this for a living. They'll pay us immediately, and then you make the payments. And, oh, by the way, if you pay it off in 6 months, there's no interest. Say you're doing a $3,000 water heater. That's $500 a month instead of writing a $3,000 check. It would be a lot easier to come up with $500 a month than $1,000 or than $3,000 right then. So always look at it, look at the options, and look at the options that you can give your customers. The good, better, and best is amazing, but also talking to them, communicating with them, and saying, look, here are the options. All right. Kevin Hawthorne, good morning to you. Good to see you in here, brother. I hope everything is going well. And Matt McDonough says, something I have to say in the aspect of safety. Everyone needs to be aware of your surroundings. Too many people falling. Yeah, too many people falling. Too many people having stuff catch on fire. Be careful. Now, look, the last time I saw a welder catch on fire, the pipe fitter actually caught him on fire, but it was intentional. But Matt, you're right. And look, the only time that I fell that it really, I slipped and hurt my back. That was walking through mud. That was stupid. 99% of accidents are avoidable. And man, to be honest, it's probably 100. But if you will look at everything going on and what's happening, just being aware. I mean, you're right. Be aware of your surroundings. And if you'll do that, that can make all the difference in the world. But the one time that I was coming down on a ladder and didn't look down, missed my footing, stepped wrong, and fell back. Well, where I fell, there were pieces of 4 to 6 inch conduit sticking up out of the floor. Luckily, it ripped my jeans. It ripped my underwear. It did not rip me. And I can't tell you how long I sat there praying, thank God, thank you so much. Because just a half inch off, 4 to 6 inches off, it'd have been a completely different story. I would have got impaled, and it would not have been good. And like I said, it ripped my underwear, so you think about where it went. All right. Sorry. I think about that one a lot because that is not a good thing. Okay. Material, equipment, and tools. Cordless, hydraulic, pipe bending tools. Now, guys, if you haven't seen these, man, these are cool. But the days of dragging out bulky benders are fading fast. Milwaukee has the HydroFlex, and it is making it easier to bend rigid pipe on the spot. No heating, no manual cranking, no second man needed. These tools are showing up in plumbing trailers across the country, especially on fire sprinkler retrofits and service truck setups. Some models even let you log bend angles and pressure for code compliance or inspections. Now, this is going to save you time. It's going to save you labor, and it reduces the strain on your crew. But guys, it also saves you materials. If you're still bending pipe the old way, it might be time to upgrade. Now, how many of y'all have seen, and there's a couple of different brands that I've seen out there that have the tool where literally you mark it, and Randy knows all about laying out curves and radiuses and stuff like that. He used to do a lot of tubing bending. Me, I never did. But I was pretty good at eyeballing it whenever I wanted to bend my copper for my supply lines. But the thing is, if you get really good at this, there's tools out there that'll bend, God, I think half inch up to 1 inch copper pipe. And you just swap the jaws on it and press the button and it bends. Now you got to line it up. You got to know the takeoffs. You got to know the formulas for it. But guys, just like anything else, you can learn how to do it. And when you learn how to do it, it's going to be amazing because it's going to make it easier. Like I said, it saves you time, saves you labor, saves you materials, and that saves you money. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So today's sponsored segment is brought to you by LeakPro and their hands-on their hands-on leak detection equipment. By using the right leak detection equipment, you can literally jump into a project, you can literally jump into a project that has a leak and you understand the systems and processes. You understand the schedule. You know what to do. You go through the job. You listen to the meter. You listen to the valve box. You listen to the backflow preventers. You try to figure out, is it outside or inside? Then you isolate it. Then you go inside. If you haven't seen the complete kit, it's a game changer. And if you're into restoration, plumbing, HVAC, anything like that, and you're not using the right tools to find leaks, you're working twice as hard. You've got to be able to get in there and check out what needs to be done and listen to it. And then you can go through, offer to say, look, we can locate the lines, we can do leak detection, and we can make sure it's great. Now, LeakPro offers a 2-day in-person training that includes the quit or when you purchase the kit, and the results speak for themselves. One of the first people we trained in California earned their entire investment back the next Monday that they went back out to the job. They literally were afraid they weren't going to be able to make their money. They got a call that weekend after leaving or while they were there, scheduled it for Monday. And I mean, they trained 3 people. They bought 3 kits. And it was amazing. They made all their money back the first day back at work. It is simple, it's powerful, and it's built for the field. LeakPro's training is the fastest way to level up your skills. We're going to bring you out to the slab. We're going to teach you how to locate the lines, how to do the leak detection. And if you're interested, we can teach you how to isolate sewer lines. We have a sewer system, cast iron and PVC, where we teach you how to isolate lines and tell where the leaks are. And all this is amazing. If you want to check out the LeakPro complete kit, go to leak.pro. It's that easy, leak.pro. And if you want to figure out how to get trained on it, give Squirt a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. And LeakPro is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. All right, those of you that want to learn how to grow on YouTube, how to do what we do, I'm also a sponsor of the Trade Talks Live. And I do it because when we started doing YouTube 7 years ago, we started growing. We started growing our business. I remember walking out of the office one day and my CSR said, look, we got 3 tunnel jobs today off LeakPro. Off YouTube. And I looked at her, it's 9 in the morning. I said, look, we didn't get 3 calls in today, or we didn't get 3 jobs today. She said, no, we did. She said, the calls actually came in last week. And then what happened? We went out, we located it. We sent the dig crews out last week. And we've got 3 tunnels wide open with crews headed out today to go to work. Guys, a slab leak repair is anywhere from $500,000 or $5,000 to $100,000. I've seen some as many as like 125. Why aren't you getting in on that? I got in on it and I started making YouTube videos about it, and it started making us blow up. So if you want to learn to do what we're doing, but you don't think it'll work for you, I think you're wrong. I think if you've got a business, you need a YouTube channel. And the cool thing about it is you don't need a lot of expensive equipment to start. You don't need a lot of followers, and you don't need a lot of views. But what you've got to do is get started. If learning more about YouTube is something you'd be interested in, go to justmattroger.com. I teach people now how to do YouTube. But I made a free webinar to show you, look, there's some things that are just in your mind you need to get over. So something worth checking out. And if you want to find out more about it, go to justmattroger.com. All right, we're going to roll over into MEP. Right after I get a drink of green tea there. And Matt says, go Leak Pro. And 6 construction sites so far burned to the ground. Out in California. Oh, that is not good. Yeah, that is not good. Yeah, I think I woke up Saturday or Sunday morning, saw that like 4,500 acres had burned or something. Man, not a good place to be. All right, MEP smart grid EV charger installs. Now, we talked about this a while ago, but the commercial EV installs are no longer just about hooking up a charger. These days, it's about the grid awareness system, the balance the load, monitor the usage, and avoid peak demand spikes. The new NEC code requires service disconnects, signage, and breaker protection. Some cities even require utility pre-approval for grid-tied chargers. And if you're bidding on these jobs, you need to account for the whole picture. What is the panel capacity? What trenching? What conduit planning? What metering? Smart contractors are charging premium rates. Guys, it's like me whenever I had my company and we'd get calls for a MedGas plumber. Well, I'm the responsible master plumber for the company. I have the master MedGas. And when we had a MedGas plumbing problem, I'm the one that had to go out. Guys, you charge more for that. It's a specialty. There were no MedGas service plumbers in Texas at the time, or at least not in the Dallas area. But you can charge premium rates for that, and clients will pay it because the demand is not slowing down. The EV thing, guys, it's going to get busier, especially the commercial ones. The more you can learn about it, the more you can do. Is crazy. Oh, wow. And Matt says 3 of the 6 construction sites that have burned down, 3 of them are in Vegas. Man, is that because of the California fires, Matt? I hadn't even heard about that, so that is crazy. All right, so we're going to roll over into where the work is. And this is one of Squirt's favorite things because he loves finding out what all's going on, where it's happening, and what trades it affects. But right now, the Mid-Atlantic infrastructure boom is happening. Public non-residential construction is up 5.1% over last year, and the Mid-Atlantic region is leading the way. Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, they all have major infrastructure packages rolling out. Think about this. There's wastewater plants, public transit upgrades, and government facilities. Now, these are the kind of things that, guys, people love government work. It's busy. There's always something going on. I've got friends working on schools and stuff all the time. Matter of fact, they're getting ready to slow down because actually they may have already slowed down because school started today in the Dallas area. But if you've got a crew certified for public work or a good relationship with any city inspectors, now's the time to bid it. Now's the time to talk to the city and say, hey, what's going on? The jobs are there. The funding is solid, and the trades that can deliver fast and clean are going to win those contracts. Guys, if you're not trying to get your name out there, if you're not trying to get out in front of the people, government contracting is big deals. And that was the GSA work, something like that. Man, I used to study that stuff and bid it. Now, we didn't get much of it, but studying it and bidding it helps keep you out in front of other people. And the good thing is, if you're doing that, if you're trying to do that, it's going to give you opportunities that maybe other people aren't getting. So, I mean, what do you think about it? Is this the kind of work that you're looking at? Because if you're not looking at it and seeing that it's already increasing, this kind of work affects all the trades. Now, when you look at, public transit and stuff like that, there's a lot of concrete, normally a lot of HVAC, a lot of electrical, maybe not as much plumbing, but there's going to be some because of the restrooms, because of things like that. But when you look at stuff like that, and when you figure, hey, this is over in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia, these are great. Wastewater plant, guys, there's a lot of piping in that. Plumbers, pipe fitters, welders. The public transit, like I talked about, Randy got to go down in the dark tunnels. Pretty neat stuff. And then the government facilities, guys, anytime the government's building facilities, they want it done right. They want it done quick, but they're also going solar. They're going green. They're building lead projects because they're looking at the ROI. And anytime that they can take a building, build it to where maybe it's a net zero or a net 0.25 or something like that. Man, what a way to do it. Matt says homeless was one of the fires. The other two are under investigation still. Man. I don't know why the homeless are trying to stay warm in July, August. I'm not sure. But guys, government facilities, schools, education facilities, things like that, those are great. And like I said, if you've got crews certified for that, for the public works or doing stuff like that, it's a great opportunity, and it could be a really great time to get in. What are you doing? Just saying. All right. Instructor training. Now, this is pretty good, and I like this because those of y'all that don't know, I used to be an instructor in the union, in the UA. I was out of Local 100 in Dallas. I think the best thing I ever got out of the local here was the education from going to become an instructor. I realized that the ITP, the instructor training program up in Ypsilanti, was freaking phenomenal. I mean, I loved it. I still think, and I talk about this all the time, that the union should take their very top instructors, put them on video, and have them teach the course all around the United States. If you've got the best trainer, put them in front of everybody. Great way to do it. All right, the video-based error analysis. So what your apprentices, or do you want your apprentices to really learn? Show them where they went wrong on video. Be straightforward with them. Don't make it personal. But if they make a mistake and you've got it on video and you can show them, hey, look, see where you did this? I want you to look at it and I want you to think about it. What do you think you should have done? That's a great way to go. But show them where they went wrong. Point it out to them and then talk to them about it. Maybe just ask them, hey, if you could go back and do that again now, how would you do it? What would you do? Now, if you've got apprentices out on the job sites, these days, it's easy to hang a GoPro. It's easy to set up a iPhone on a tripod and video what they're doing. Walk off, go work on your area, and then come back and look at it. Come back and talk to them about it. Say, hey, I noticed you didn't lay this out the way I showed you. How come? And they may say, I forgot. So, okay, well, let me show you again. But you've got to have permission to record them and then break them down in a crew meeting. So that's going to let them know, look, I'm recording you. Make sure you slow down, take the time to do it right. Then it's very simple. Here's what happened. So you point out, here's what you did. Here's what was done. Here's what it looked like. Here's where you did it. Then here's what should have happened. And here's a great way to teach. And it's, look, I know you did it this way, but I want to show you why we do it this way. I want to show you why I do it this way. Show them what mistake was made, if it was a mistake or if something was wrong, but also show them how to correct it, how to fix it. And then it's really simple. Let's make sure this does not happen again. Now, it's not about shaming them. So please don't think this is just your opportunity to scream and yell and rant and tell people, hey, look, man, you suck. You don't listen. Boom, boom, boom. That's not what it's about. It's about making them aware. This is real footage for real lessons. Now, I know one plumber that I talked to called a reverse backflow preventer. And he did this during the review, and they haven't missed one since. I mean, if you can look at it, and I mean, trust me, if you're installing if you're installing backflow preventers, you know what I'm talking about. These big RPZs, you can tell if they're in the right way or the wrong way. But when you confront a tech or an apprentice and say, hey, look, as you were going through this, and you do this before it's ever turned on, but hey, as you were going through this, did you happen to notice the arrows on the RPZ? Oh, yeah. I looked at them. You sure? Because if you really would have looked at them, why would you install it backwards? And you ask, and you say, look, you've got to be better at looking at this and making sure you're doing it right. But this is low tech, low impact training that will actually work. And if you coach people the right way, you don't just harass them, you don't wear them out. Teaching them the right way to do something. And this is, to me, probably one of the favorite comments that I get on my YouTube channels is, Roger, you teach people without making them feel stupid. So I want you to think about the people you're teaching, the people you're training, the people you're trying to help. Are you just making them feel stupid? Because if you are, it's not a good thing. But doing this and videoing it, and then look, if they make a big mistake and you don't want to embarrass them in front of everybody, why not just call them in the office and say, hey, look, I went over this video and I want to show you something. There's not a contest, but if you want to learn more about Leak Pro, go to leak.pro. That's pretty easy. I do see that one that stuck up. Matt says, I love training in the union, but some people need to check themselves. Apprentices are there to learn, not be a punching bag. I love calling them Gumby. I will mold them the way I want them. Man, I love that. And you're right. And I've seen a lot of instructors that they wanted to just intimidate all of them. And my guys will tell you, I wasn't the nicest instructor. I was there to teach, and I wanted students there to learn. I didn't want them playing around. I didn't let them pull out their phones and play on them. And I told them, guys, look, if you're on my job site, I wouldn't want you on your phone on my job site. And they're like, well, we're not on the job site. I'm like, no, but I'm trying to get you ready for it. I want you to understand that when you're in here, this is how I expect things done. It's just like being on my job site. I made them show up on time. A lot of instructors don't do that. It's like, you know what? Yeah, if you're late, you're late. Me, it's like, man, I need you to treat this like a job site. Come in, open-eyed, ready to learn, and let's get some stuff done. And if you'll do that, it can be a great thing. If you don't do that, it can be a bad thing. So do anything you can to educate and help people. And it really will make a big deal. I'm going to try to do something over here real quick. And make sure I got it all right. All right. Okay, so we'll get over to this here in just a minute. All right. Now we're going to jump into specialty. And I love this because this is something that I've been blessed to be on some of the biggest freaking jobs in Texas, in the Dallas area. But we're going to talk about complex commercial gas line. Now, some of these big complex commercial gas lines, the reroutes on them can be crazy. And reroutes sound really simple until you hit a slab, maybe a wall cavity, maybe a code inspector with a bad attitude. Not saying that there are any out there, but if you've ever ran into one, put his name in here. No, I'm joking. There are some. And, you know, luckily for me, the biggest one that I remember doing a major reroute on and finding a way to do it was DFW A terminal. And we literally, went out and made a new hot tap on a line, had a new meter installed, came off it, ran a line over underground, came up the side of the building I needed a 3-inch high pressure gas line up on the roof. It's there now. But it took a lot of creative thinking and around the box thinking in order to get it done. But if you learn how to do that, it can be amazing. I'm telling you, the contractors still, when you can come in and find out how to do something that a lot of other companies said, yeah, there's no way to do that, it'll never happen, things can change a little bit. But these jobs require precise coordination between the excavation crews, plumbers, inspectors, sometimes the utility company. We had to get, I think it was Atmos Gas out there to give us a new meter in a weird location. So it can be done. But the risk of air traps, failed pressure tests, missed shutoff valves, guys, you've got to be careful for everything because you get one opportunity to do this. But the key is pacing and verification. Use the tracer wire. Anytime you've got the underground gas, make sure you've got your tracer wire. Make sure you've got your don't dig ribbon above it. Shut off validation. Make sure the shut off works. And odorant checks at every stage. Make sure that you're getting, and here in Texas, the gas purveyor puts it all in there. We don't have to worry about that. But if that's something you have to do in your area, make sure everything's done right. And then don't rush it. Because a clean reroute today avoids you being on the news later or maybe a code violation tomorrow. And if you're not looking at stuff like that and you're not thinking about it, you really need to ask yourself what you could be doing and what you could do to actually make it better. And these are things that, guys, it takes all of us looking at it and thinking of it and trying to get ahead of it. I knew about the gas line problem at a terminal, but before it ever became an issue, and I'd already started doing research. I'd already reached out to the gas purveyor. I knew what opportunities we had. I had to get the general contractor involved in, and they had to get the airport involved in. But the thing is, once I got everybody involved, they're like, man, this is a great way to do it. Let's go. And it turned out pretty daggum good. I mean, I don't know. That was 10 years ago. It's still working. Not a bad problem. All right. So Matt says, love training in the union. Yeah, I love that, brother. I used to be a union instructor. I thought it was phenomenal. Matt McDonough says, I used to tell my apprentices to call or text before you show up late so I can treat it like a job site. Then pizza if your phone goes off during the class. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. All right, let me jump over here and look at this real quick. Make sure that I am still good, and I am. Everything looks fine there. Okay, so I am going to share a screen here. First, I'm going to read this. We're moving into social media, and today's social media spotlight is on R. Davis Electrical. You like that? An electrician on a Monday. One of the top electrician creators on TikTok with nearly 500,000 followers. Now, I've got him pulled up over here on YouTube, but his recent video on short circuit prevention at meter bases pulled over 1 million views. Clean panel builds, code tips, and journeyman tricks make his content both entertaining and educational. So if you're in the electrical game, you're not smart enough to be a plumber, or if you're training someone who is, this is one of the best follows out there. So I'm going to go ahead and find him on TikTok too, just to see. Okay, I've got him on, there's the TikTok. Oh yeah, he's doing good on TikTok. He's doing good on Instagram. All right, so the first one I'm going to share is going to be the YouTube. So we're going to look through it real quick. R. Davis Electrical. I like it. I love the colors, red and black. Apparently it's easy. Consumer unit install. 300,000 views on this one here 3 years ago. Forever told online how easy it is to install a consumer unit. Yeah, It's easy if you know how. All right, got some good videos here. I'm going to come into the About section. Got his link to his Instagram, his TikTok, and his Amazon store. Joined 2021. So, man, right at 4 years ago right now. 155,000 subscribers, 287 videos, and 122 million views. Doing very well. He is over in the UK. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's hard to listen to. I'm joking. Latest video says, shock, we do some work. The customer hated it. I kind of like his thumbnails. We are back, 6-bedroom beast. And the Knipex modular X18 tool backpack. Very nice. So got a lot of good things going on here. Cable staplers. How good is the nail gun? Man, he's got some good stuff going on. So this is the latest. Let's go look at the oldest. Right here, 4 years ago, second fix of a double socket. RD Electrical with the breakers there. Does a consumer unit. And what's in my tool bag. Now, I got to tell you, people love when I do those videos. Bought some screwdrivers from a supermarket. Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. All right, so let's go into the most popular. And apparently it's easy. I like that. Consumer unit install. Talked about that a while ago. Tools every electrician needs. The customer did this wiring. That can be scary sometimes. And a 100-amp switch fuse isolator. All right, so I'm going to quit sharing that one. And I'm going to go into sharing the TikTok. And, oh, there we go. Right here. Okay, so I'm going to share that one. And here he is again. 486,000 followers, 12.1 million likes. Ryan the electrician out of Great Britain, content creator. And does a lot of good shorts here. Bending tube, drinking beer, tools, all kinds of cool things. So, man, he does a lot of tool reviews, it looks like. Got a good clean van, stacked out really nice. So doing some good stuff. I like this because, look, I love doing what we do on social media. And, guys, I wouldn't have been able to do it without y'all, without starting with y'all. I literally started making videos. Yeah, I hate these little anchors right here. But, yeah, looks like he does too. So pretty neat stuff there. And this is his TikTok. And let's look at his most popular. Got some docs there cutting nails, all kinds of things. Side cutters, I guess, cutting a lock. Cutting another lock. And cutting a screwdriver. When you have a Polish apprentice. I'm assuming that's funny. The right way to twist wires or to braid it. Pretty neat stuff. Man, there's always good stuff out here. And guys, look, like I said, this is R. Davis Electrical. And if it's something that you're interested in, I don't know why anybody would be interested in electricity or sheet metal or anything like that. Plumbing is what it's all about. But y'all know that. Guys, the good thing is, I know Matt. Matt says, oh no, a Sparky. Got to go be a hero, sir. Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing and Squirt. Have a great day. Tell Squirt to stay hydrated. I tell him all the time. Love you, bye. Brother, you be good. Have a great day, and you stay safe out there. So, social media is what got us started doing what I do. And we do it because it's what helped us grow. So I get to be a sponsor of this. I get to help us do what we do. And it's really neat because I walked into a conference because I got tired of getting ripped off by marketing companies. And what I mean by that is literally, and when I say ripped off, imagine driving down the road and throwing $47,000 cash out the window, because that's about what it was like. I had paid different marketing companies $47,000, and the last one literally made my phone stop ringing. And I tried reaching out to him. He ghosted me, didn't want to hear from me. And I don't blame him because I wasn't really happy about it. But I was at a conference and I'm riding up the escalator and my phone rings and I pulled it out and it was my CSR. And she says, "Hey, look, I'm just calling to let you know the phones aren't ringing." And I said, "I know. Thank you for turning mine off. I appreciate it." She says, No. They're not ringing here at the office." She said, "Roger, the phones hadn't ring in 2 days." Well, I had hired a new company and they were going to do this amazing stuff. Well, they did. They turned off my phones basically. But I realized right then I need to take marketing into my own hands. So I started doing research because I had actually talked to marketing companies before telling them I wanted to do social media. And they'd send me a message and say, "Tomorrow's National Pizza Day, make a post." And I'm like, what the heck has that got to do with plumbing? I'm trying to grow a plumbing company. So I want you to think about whatever niche, whatever industry you're in. If people could go to YouTube and search that niche, because I tell people when I'm on stages all the time, look, if you've got YouTube on your phone, pull it out and just search plumbing. I own that word. And if you'd asked me 7 years ago, 7.5 years ago almost, "Roger, do you think you'll ever get to the point where people can just search plumbing and be like, oh my God, no, there's so many channels bigger than me. So many people out there doing things right. I'm just learning." But we kept learning and we started getting really good. So what I want to tell you is you have an opportunity, and whatever niche, whatever business, whatever your profession you're in the near future, YouTube is going to be better for you than your website, because YouTube is the second largest search engine and it's owned by the largest. And with more and more people watching videos and getting involved in that, it makes a big difference. So what I'm going to tell you is I figured it out and I can help teach you. First of all, I made a free webinar, and that's where it starts. If you want to watch it, go to justmattroger.com. Watch the webinar, listen to it. It doesn't take a lot of fancy equipment to start out. It doesn't take a lot of followers. It doesn't take a lot of views, but it takes you getting in there and getting started. So go watch this free webinar. And after you watch it, jump back in here and let me know what you think about it. justmattroger.com. And I'm telling you, it can completely change your life if you do it right. It can grow your business faster and wilder than you would ever imagine. Now, our other sponsor is Leak Pro. Now, I love the fact that literally, again, 7 years ago at that first conference, I had my stepson with me, and we thought the conference was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We had been there all day Wednesday. Actually got in Tuesday night, went to the party Tuesday night. We're there all day Wednesday. We're there all day Thursday. And Friday when we went down there, it was empty. Well, there was supposed to be a vendor set up. They were all gone. But it was fine, because I called a guy that I knew in San Diego, said, "Hey, I'm in LA. Let's hang out." And he said, "Well, we're meeting a leak detection guy out North San Diego. Would you like to meet there?" I said, "Absolutely." So we rented a car. We drove down. It was about an hour and a half drive down there and about a 6-hour drive on the way back, but I'll explain that to you in a little bit. And literally we got down there and I found out about Leak Pro. I met Terry and it blew my mind. Leak Pro is the most precise leak detection system I've ever seen. And if you want to find out more about it, go to leak.pro. Check out the complete kit. I know it can change your business. It can change you as a plumber. And if you like it, but you're like, "Man, I don't know how to use it," give Squirt a call. That's why he's not in here today. He's out training on the Leak Pro pad. But give Squirt a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO and talk to him about the training. We teach you how to locate the lines, how to find the leaks. And if you're the owner or manager, we teach you how to market it and get found for leak detection in your area. Guys, this is something that can completely change your business. And learning to do it the right way makes all the difference in the world. Now, that ride back took 6 hours because I decided at 4 in the afternoon, or no, it was actually about 3 in the afternoon, I wanted to take the Pacific Coast Highway. I thought, man, that would be cool. Drive up there. We had rented a convertible, 6-hour drive, about 30 miles an hour. It was ridiculous. But if you're ever in San Diego and want to go to LA, it's a beautiful ride. Just plan plenty of time. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. Squirt will be back with us on Wednesday. I will be back in here tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see y'all then. If you like this, give us a thumbs up. If you hadn't yet, hit the subscribe button and share it with a friend. If you can, come see me tomorrow. Guys, whatever you do out there today, do it safe and hit it effing hard. Bye, guys. Great to see y'all.